This is Oreb Show from GUM Nation TV. I am Bimbola Ojo. And today on Parenting Series, we are going to be looking at wisdom for 24th century parents. With me in the house is Reverend Dr. Shehu Orebe. Sir, you are most welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate God for all our viewers home and abroad, and we give God all the praise and all the glory, and we thank God for how far He has brought us. You know, we have stepped into the first month in the second quarter in the year 2022. So in this our second quarter, we are starting a new series of discussion as we look at this first episode in this particular series of discussion, and we're going to be looking at several episodes along this path, because you know there is need for parents to update their database when it comes to parenting, because what works yesterday, by the time you discover your children, you realize that those things may not work on them again. A child that you can use sweet or biscuit to deceive yesterday, today you may realize that he or she may be asking for a higher denomination, you know, not just the usual one you've always been given to him or her, and he will grab it from you. So they now know the difference between one denomination and the color of the denomination.
And the bigger denomination.
So there is need for us to understand as parents that as technology is advancing, then we need to also update our parenting skills and wisdom, because when these kids are growing up, especially, you know, you would think that the way you raise the first child is the way you're going to raise the third child. You'll be so surprised that the way the third child or what the third child will be demanding, the first child may not demand it.
Yeah, right, sir.
It may not make such demands. So, and if you don't update your parenting skill, you will just be thinking, what kind of a child is this one? This one is different from the other one. And the mistake most parents make most of the time is to start comparison. They will start comparing the first child with the third one, thinking and saying that that one is totally different, not knowing that it is the advance in technology that is making them to be able to lay claim on new demands. And then I saw a clips online, you know, which really buttressed this. There is a tiny lad, I think it should be around 3, or even that is even if it's up to 3, between 2 and 3, you know. So, and the mother was using her phone, and he was busy crying after the phone. And then busy crying after the phone. So, and as soon as he was able to, I think it should be 2 or just a bit 2 plus, or maybe before 2 self. Wow. And then as soon as he was able to grab the phone from the mother, he put the phone down on the bed and he began to press.
Can you imagine?
P, one app, the other app, and close this, close that, and then open the app that he wanted to open.
Wow.
And go straight to the clips that he wanted to watch, and then he opened it and he started watching. Wow. No, you'll be so surprised thinking that many of them don't know what they are doing, but they are smarter than, you know, many of us as parents, because they have this you know, smart brain,
than their age.
Just like they have the smartphone today. They have smart brain, because you couldn't imagine, even adults, they give you phone, you are still looking at what to press. But you know, this tiny lad, he's been able to press and then get to the app that he wanted to get to, and get to the clip that he wanted to watch, and he opened it and started watching. And then he was calm there watching it. Now, the truth of the matter is, that means the phone could calm him more than the mother could calm him. So, if the mother now wants to look for trouble, and she has not updated her parenting skill, she will take the phone away from him, thinking that she does not want him to be addicted, but she will be putting herself in trouble. While the boy will keep crying and keep disturbing her, and she will know how to pacify him to make him stop. But the young lad picking the phone and going to the clips of what he want to watch on the phone, and he kept mute, and then the whole place was, you know, peaceful. Now, if that parent want to insist on the fact that the child must keep doing what they want him to do, he must follow, he must do this, he must follow rhymes, he must follow this, he may not be able to. But there will be time whereby most of the clips that comes on the phone, they can make that to be learning stuffs, that as much as they listen, they can also learn from it. So where are we going there is this. This is just for us to understand clearly that for us as parents, there is need for us to update our parenting skills on a regular basis. That simply means you don't sit down on what you know when you raise your first child, or you don't sit down on what you know when somebody is raising their own child and you went to meet your sister or an aunt and to help them to raise their kids, and you are thinking the same method will work with this new generation that we are having. It may not. So there is need for updates of the wisdom base, the knowledge base for parenting skill that you would need as parent to be able to raise the children that we are having in this new dispensation.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, parents out there, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Don't forget, like I do tell you, the number to reach us on is +234-8054-281604. And if you wish to join us live, we're on Facebook. That is Seun Orebi on Facebook, Dr. Seun Orebi on Instagram, and on YouTube we have Gum Nation TV and Seun Orebi TV. Still on the topic, wisdom for 24th century parents. Doctor.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
So before you go further,
all right,
I have a question to ask. Last week I saw my little niece. The girl should be like 3 years, between 3 and 4.
Okay.
And the way this little girl was handling phone, sir, I was amazed. The girl actually know where to on the data for the phone. I had to ask the mom that, are you the one that is teaching? The woman said, where, how? That she too is even surprised that what she does now, she doesn't put her phone anywhere around the daughter so that she won't on the data and, you know, get the whole thing exhausted. So my question is this: are you saying that it is due to the technology, the improvement, you know, in technology that is, you know, giving these little ones, you know, so much idea of how to handle phones?
What?
Because it's really alarming, sir.
It's just something that parents need to understand, irrespective of whatever technology advancement or whatever. The kids that we are giving birth to these days, they are just technological savvy.
Yes, sir.
And many a times you can't pick how did they get to know, because they just get to learn on their own. And that is why if they get to learn that way, that simply means we're going to see, and which is why we are looking at this, we're going to see that they are more sensitive to the environment and to things. And that simply implies if they are more sensitive to things and the environment, and they learn faster from what they see, or they were able to picture or pick up, then we should be able to see how we as parents can connect with them emotionally. Because the wisdom we are looking at now is the fact that when you leave them only to their smartphones or to your smartphones, they can grow up like robots. That simply means all they learn is from the system, not from you. And that simply means they will grow away from you. Instead of them growing towards you as a parent in emotion, in relating together, in being dad, mom, daughter, son, daughter, father, or whatever, you know, growing towards you as a parent, you see them growing away from you. That simply means they grow with technology. They didn't grow with you. So most of the things they know, most of the things they have learned is from the technology, not from you as parents. So you are not able to bond with them. You are not able to be on the same page, because you forgot the fact that they have the option of growing outside of you now. So instead of you to allow them to be able to grow on their own, then you have to find a way to come in between the smartphone and your kid, so that your child will not grow with the smartphone, but rather your child will grow with you. and bond with you while growing. Because the things you can do with them when they are at 5, the things you can do with them when they are at 4, the things you can do with them when they are at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you may not be able to do with them when they are 13, 14. So if they miss you at that particular space of their life, there is tendency for them not to know you and you to not to know them, even though you are living under the same roof.
Wow. Wow.
Because they've learned to grow up with their smartphone, and all the words, the wisdom, the speech, the norm, the culture, the custom they have learned from their smartphone, or from the tablet you bought for them, or from the cartoon that you left them to watch. So that is what this wisdom update is talking about, is how you can come in between them and the smartphone, so that they will not grow up with a smartphone, but rather they will grow up with you as a parent, so under the same roof.
The bonding is of essence.
I watched a particular skit, and a child was being dressed by the nanny, and then unfortunately the parent didn't go out early that particular morning. And then when the mother came out of the room and the child was asking the nanny, "Who is that?" It was the nanny that was saying that is your mother.
Mother. Oh my God.
So the child was looking and the mother said, "Hey, how are you, Junior?" He just take his face away from the mother and hug the nanny. Now, the truth of the matter is, such a child will pick more features from the nanny than the mother. Yeah. We have this thing real, is happening. Yeah, right, so, and that is why for you as parents, you are just as you claim you don't have a nanny, and then your child will not grow towards the nanny. How about the smartphone? How about the tablets? How about the cartoon? So that is why in this wisdom for parenting in the 21st century, we are simply going to be looking at how can you bond with them? How can you be emotionally attached to your own child, so that you will not leave them to grow with the smartphone, just as like how some leave their kids to grow with the nanny. So you will have to come in between the smartphone and your child. You will have to come in between the tablet and your child. You have to come in between the cartoon and your child, and let your child grow with you and bond with you, and not allow them to bond only with the cartoon and the smartphone. So this is what this wisdom for 21st century parenting is all about. Because many parents, I saw even a mother one time that was like, "Oh, what? Yeah, I don't want her to stress me. Just take the phone and go somewhere." So the child just picked the phone and went and sat down somewhere. It was when the phone was ringing that the mother said, "Bring my phone, it's ringing." The child refused to bring the phone, even the phone was ringing. Wow. So, and it boils to the fact that if the child grew up with the phone like that at that age, 4, 5, 6, and not with the mother, even though they are under the same roof, that child is bound to pick up features from the things that she learned from the phone and not from the mother. And on the long run, you now find a child different from the parents, or thinking different from the parents. And when it's time for them to bond, when they are probably growing 14, 15, they're like, "Oh, don't you see me? Can you just spell like that?" You're like, "Oh, sorry, mommy, how are you?" It's just gone. Because the bonding has not been there when they were 3, when they were 4. Because you were thinking they were stressing you at one point. I mean, 18 months, thereabout, going to 2 years. You thought they were stressing you, and you want to pacify them and silence them and bribe them with the smartphone. You did not understand the fact that you are only making them to grow away from you, and you are not creating the bond you are meant to create with you. Whereby the only time you call them or they get to see you around is when their food is ready, and many of them will not even eat. They would rather be playing on their phone than to eat the meal that you have prepared. So please don't allow that. That is why this update on 21st century parenting is coming up, so that we can be able to learn one thing or the other, how we can come in between the smartphone and our kid, and then we can learn them to grow with us and bond with us, and not grow with their smartphone and bond with cartoon.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Parents out there, our doctor is trying to tell each and everyone that parental bonding is of essence in this century. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Don't forget, like I do tell you, the number to reach us on is +2348054281604. And if you wish to join us live, we're on Facebook. That is Seun Orebi on Facebook, Dr. Seun Orebi on Instagram, and of course on YouTube we have Gum Nation TV and Seun Orebi TV. And please don't forget to share on your timeline too, so that other parents can benefit. Doctor,
So
welcome back, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
From what I have here, kids today can operate smartphones and computer long before they can even read.
My God.
Many of them, before they can even read, identify letter, they can operate smartphone and they can operate computer. But many of their most basic needs have been the same since the dawn of creation. And what are the basic needs of human? Love, bonding, emotions. Is there. But if we allow them to grow with the smartphone, those basic needs will be ruled out. And they will grow only with the smartphone and the computer. And that is why you, as a parent, need to recognize the fact that you need to bond with your child. So we need to recognize that although our children are far more technological advanced than they were, years back, their emotional needs have stayed relatively the same all the while. So what are the things that you can do as a parent to be able to ensure that you are able to cover the ground between your kids and the smartphone, between your kids and the technological advancement, between your kid and the computer they have access to? How can you ensure they grow with you and they bond with you and not grow with the computer or grow with the smartphone? These are the wisdom we are looking at in this 21st century parenting. So number one thing you can do, and you can always do, and which is number one wisdom, to be able to ensure that you do not allow your child to grow bonding with the tablet, bonding with the smartphone, and only bonding alone with the computer and the cartoon, is that tell your children that you love them often. As many times as you can. Make it a priority every day. Don't assume your child knows that you love them. Tell them you love them as much time as possible. Let them realize what love is all about. To the fact that they know that it is sharing emotions, sharing things together, being able to relate with others, being able to relate as family, being able to share love, being able to share things. So tell them as often as you can that you love them. So that way they will grow up believing and knowing that there is something called emotion, that everything is not robotic. Because it's very possible many of them thought everything is robotic. When they want to smile, they want to smile. If they don't want to smile, they just cut off, and they can't tell you why they cut off. So because that is the robot they see. So but when they know that if I'm feeling something, I can tell mommy. If I'm not feeling too good, I can tell daddy. Then they will know that there is something called emotion. So it becomes so easy for them to open up to you when they are going through things, when they are being bullied in school, when something is happening contrary in their academics, or something is happening contrary with somebody around them. They can open up to you because they've seen you say to them that you love them over and over, and then they want to see the proof of that love. Then number two, ensure that you bond as a family with all kinds of activity that you can engage in. Ensure, after you have always told them you love them, ensure you bond together as a family. That means you do things together, you relate together, you sit down together to discuss, you sit down together to eat, you sit down together to probably watch movie, you sit down together to watch one or two things that they watch. You can even sit down with them and watch the cartoon with them. So ensure you bond together in activity as a family. Let things be that you do together, not just them being on their own all the time, because you want to have your own space. So you carve a space for them and you leave them to themselves. That will not work. So ensure there is family activity that is being done together. It might be praying together in the morning. It might be eating dinner together. It might be eating a breakfast together. It might be eating lunch together. It might be eating out during the weekends. It might be going to the parks together. Ensure you bond with them with family activity. Something that cut them off from the technology, for them to see the real family and be able to bond with their real family. And when you do this, it creates love and companionship between you and your kids. And it becomes so easy for them to be able to relate with you, to see you as human that they can relate with, not seeing you as a robot that you are just there, they are there, everybody is having a space and nobody cross their boundary. No. So when you do family activity together, it becomes so easy for them to bond with you, and then the bond will continue even in their teenagers age range of age. Why? Because it has been something that they are used to growing up. So they are the one that even be telling you, "Mommy, aren't we going to the park? Aren't we going to the cinema?" Because it has been something that everybody get to do together. So, and by the time they get to the age of going on their own, then you can know, they will know that when we used to be family, this is what we do. So when they also grow up, they will also do the same with their family.
Exactly.
It will not be you on your own, I'm on my own, and everybody do their own thing in isolation.
Yeah.
So do family activities together. We have it here. Children learn valuable communication skills and life lesson around the dinner table. So put your phone down and ask meaningful questions in the course of this bonding and this activity together. And this might be hard at first, but you can do it. It is worth the sacrifice. So you are at the park, just sit down, ask free question, just sit down, dialogue. Your boy is 16, 17, 18. Just throw him the question one day, what's your girlfriend's name? Because if you shout,
you think they will answer that question?
Now the truth of the matter is, we African have a different perspective about that word girlfriend. They have a girl in their class that they are friend. That is a girlfriend. So that you are bringing your child into knowledge of some things, but the way you will start with the knowledge, it will be like a killer question. It will be like a question that, like, how can it be asking me that? So but you now break it down. So who and who in your class that is a girl or that is a female that is your friend?
I can call a friend.
So you will like, oh, then you will now relax. That you will not saying something else. So that way you are bonding with him, and it's getting to see clearly that you know what they are feeling. Because if you think you are covering your face from what you used to feel, and you are thinking they will not feel the same, you are not doing yourself any good as a parent, and you will not be able to bond with them. So to the point that your child should be able to come to you, oh, I think I have a crush on this guy, on this girl, I have a crush on this guy, but how should I go about it? You put to say, don't go near crush, it will fizzle away. Just be yourself and be good, and whatever is yours will flow to you and come to you. Don't run after anything that is like chasing the shadow. Your child will learn from you than to go and be learning from an aunt or uncle or bro on the street, or looking for who to teach them the practical of what they have heard from their friends, instead of them asking you as a parent. So please, activity together as a family go a long way to make your child to bond with you, and they will learn a whole lot from there, and they can also duplicate that in their own family when they grow up. Thank you
so much, Doctor. Okay, parents out there, Doctor is trying to tell every parent that you should create an attachment, unbreakable one, with your kids. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Don't forget, like I do tell you, the number to reach us on is +234 8054 281604. And if you wish to join us live, we're on Facebook. That is Seun Orebi on Facebook, Dr. Seun Orebi on Instagram, and of course on YouTube we have Gum Nation TV and Seun Orebi TV. And please don't forget to share your timeline too, so that other parents can benefit. Doctor.
So number 3, and which we're going to call it a day on this particular episode from air.
Okay,
pick up your child when they are young and hug them often. Give them a warm hug. Give them a warm hug. That is a way of bonding with them. Give them a warm hug. And it will get to a point whereby they are so used to it that they will be the one calling you or opening their arms towards you. Give them a warm, even no matter how busy you are or how dirty you are or how dirty they are. Give them a warm hug, because this way you are creating emotional bond, which can never be like the tablets and the smartphone that they are playing with.
These little things.
So, and when you do this to them, it's like what they observe in the system, what they observe on the smartphone that they are doing or repeating or reciting is like you modeling to them emotion, physical way. I mean, emotion bonding or emotional bond.
Emotional bond.
Whereby you are practicalizing it deliberately. It's not something you are doing just because you just feel, okay, this child, you just want me to. Hug them. Male, female, hug them. Warm hug. Not the one you just and push them away. No, give them cool, warm. And that way, as they bond with you day by day on that, they will miss you when you are not around. Because one of the good things that warm hug can do is that you don't know how long, how far it will go on a child per time. And then when you are not around, the child that you have always hugged will miss you as a parent. But when you are not around, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and your child does not miss you because the smartphone has always been his or her companion, then something is wrong with you as a parent.
I hear you, sir.
You are missing out in the 21st century parenting skill. Because this is an age whereby your child can be under your roof and grow with the smartphone. And the model is smartphone. The role model is smartphone. The tutor is smartphone. Not you. Because they learn everything they learn, not from you. 96% of what is in their brain is from what they learn from the smartphone, not from you as a parent. So how do you now make it to be that you are their role model? This is how you can come in between the smartphone. The smartphone is not emotional. The smartphone cannot hug them. The smartphone cannot meet their emotional needs. That is where you come in. You need the smartphone for them because they must be technological savvy. They must not be they must not be obsolete. But you have to come in between. And let emotion be emotion. Let them see you as they're supposed to see you. Let them be able to feel you. Let them be able to miss you if you are not around. And this go a long way that they also can duplicate that in their own family as they grow up. Because a child that feels loved will also end up raising a loving family. But a child that everybody grow apart will also raise a family that will grow apart because he or she will not see any big deal in why family should bond. So all that he wants, you're on your own. Go. Be a driver. Drop them in school. I'm off. See you in the evening. Everybody go. No, that will not work. Because the thing that technology is teaching our children, if you don't come in between, you will see a stranger in your house one day and you will not believe it's your child. Because most of the things loaded in him, wired up in him or her, has not been from you. That's why many times, many of you, especially in the Western world, you see your children and you are like, who born this child? Because of the behavior, the character, the words, the speech, you're like, where is this child from? You forgot the fact that you have neglected him for the past 15 years. He's just living with you and you are living with him. He's just like a roommate. So you not expect that a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old which will bond with you. No, you have grown apart right from time. And that's why the things in him are the things he has learned or she has learned from computer, from system, from cartoon, from movie, from people around, not from you. Because you have not used the emotional bonding to come in between him or her and technology. So, and this is the time that we need to ensure that we break the bond between them and smartphone with our emotional bond. So that they will have alternative. So, and when you give them warm hug, it will go a long way to pass the message of the first wisdom, I love you, to them. Truly, that daddy loved me. Truly, mommy loved me. When they see it being displayed and being demonstrated with a warm hug. You will just sit down one day and you see your child just feel somehow or whatever, it may be whatever is wrong with him or her. You just see you run towards you and just hug you. Okay. You may go to their school and pick them up, probably stress of the day activity and stress of the whatever they have done through the day, and the child just see you afar by the car waiting for him or her to pick him up. He will just come towards you and hug you. Why? He's trying to relieve the stress of the day by getting that warm hug from you. So please, this wisdom will going to continue in the next episode. And then we're going to be able to dig deep into these things for you and I as parents to know how can we come in between our children and the smartphone or the tablet that we bought for them, so that they can bond with us emotionally and not just bond with technology. And they will not just grow up as robots. And then when they grow up, they get to a level you can't change them again. Because it is what we garbage into a robot that the robot will garbage out. So, but if you allow emotion, they will also be flexible, they will also be considerate, they will also understand things with you, they will also consider things with you, they will also be able to reason on their own and not just be, analytical. Just this is the way it has been, and so mind your space, I keep my space. So please, I pray the God of heaven will allow this wisdom to sink into you as a parent. Amen. And it will become a valuable knowledge that you can apply at the time that you need to apply it. Because it is knowledge applied that translates into wisdom. A knowledge that is not applied can never be termed as wisdom. So the grace to apply this knowledge so that it can become wisdom on your part, I pray you receive that grace in the name of Jesus. The children that God gave you, they will grow with you, they will bond with you, they will get to love you, you will get to love them, and they will bring you joy, and they will remain source of joy and happiness to you all the days of their life. And it shall be well with you and with your household, and so shall it be. For in Jesus' powerful name we pray. Amen, and amen, and amen. Please share on your timeline so that other parents can benefit from the wealth of knowledge too. Thank you so much for joining us, and God bless you greatly. See you some other time.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for always honoring our call. We really do appreciate.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, viewers, you've heard it all from Reverend Dr. Seun Orebiyi that we need to bond with our children. Okay, that'll be all for now. Till we see same time, same hour. Don't forget, like I do tell you, the number to reach us on is +234 8054 281604. See you next time. Bye.